First of all, a big thank you from me. It's great to be back in Cape Town. A big thank you from me because that round of applause was the largest so far, which has won me a bet with USB that I get a louder round of applause than the other speakers so far. So that's worth the Clippies and Coke to me later. So thank you very much for that. For me, it's great to be back in Cape Town, home of the greatest rugby team in Africa, of course. You can tell when you're kind of adopting a team when you actually organise your Singapore training workshops to fit around the away game for the Stormers against the Sunwolves in Singapore. So that was definitely a great experience. I want to talk a little bit briefly today on the new rules of selling. And the new rules of selling, basically, I believe we now need to change the way we sell because of what's happened within the buying process. So that because, taking my professional buying background into account, people have changed the way they buy, I believe as salespeople, we need to adapt the way we sell going forward. So for example, even 10 or 15 years ago, salespeople could get away with turning up a meeting and saying, tell me a little bit about your business. These days, if a salesperson turns up to a decision maker and says, tell me a bit about your business, they'll say, there's the door, go and use it, do some research on my company, and when you've got something relevant to talk to them about, come back and then we'll potentially have a conversation. Salespeople were the font of our knowledge. Decision makers got their knowledge from salespeople around the products, around the markets, around the trends. Now that information is freely available to the buyers and decision makers before they even see the salespeople. So therefore, we're now in the era of what I call the educated buyer, where in most cases, when the average salesperson turns up, sometimes the buyer or decision maker knows more than the actual salesperson about their market, their industry, and what's happening. So we definitely need to adapt our sales tactics to be able to be successful going forwards. So let me give you a couple of examples. First of all, right now it's a tough market globally, particularly those of us affected by Brexit, which has made a little bit of an impact on the pound versus rand exchange rate, which is a bit annoying because we've had it really good for a long time. So thank you for that, Mr. Zuma. One of the things we have to do in today's market is focus on new business. It's kind of been a topic that's dropped away a little bit as social media and other things have come along, but new business has become really important and should be, in my opinion, the most important thing for your sales team. Winning new clients in a tough market, in a tough economy, should be the highest, certainly within your sales team, possibly within the company, highest on your agenda. Particularly when it comes to things like winning new business over the phone and cold calling. Still one of, if not the best ways to win new business, but it's evolved and we have to do it better than we had to previously. It's more difficult now than at any point in history to get appointments with senior decision makers, to get mind share or airtime with those people over the phone. We've got to be able to do it better and do it differently. If we can do it well, we can get some great results. I was working with Vodafone in the UK and got 100% improvement in their cold calling success rate with one of their team, purely by looking at their cold calling approach and putting in some of my techniques and adapting what they do to get better results. Really important to increase those conversion rates and really important to be able to do that moving forward. Second point is I believe it's really important to qualify our sales opportunities. Most salespeople I work with have no clue where they are up to in the sales process. They have no real idea what their chances are, the likelihoods of them being able to win the business. No idea what they need to do to influence the decision maker to take the process forward. It's really hard, particularly if they predict figures to their bosses. Getting accurate predictions from your sales team of what business is going to come in and when it's going to come in and how likely it is to come in is very, very difficult. If you can qualify those opportunities better, you get some really good results. I work with Rackspace in the UK, the largest hosting provider in the world. Helped one of their guys close an enterprise deal worth £500,000, 9 million rand plus, depending on the daily exchange rates at the minute, and how much Brexit's on the agenda or not. That's really easy to do when we're on top of sales opportunities and can move them forward in the process. Third thing is improving self-motivation. Really important when there's difficult tasks like cold calling. Who in the room kind of has that internal conversation and talks to themselves, by the way? Who talks to themselves? You know, I love asking that question because no matter where I am in the world, about 80% of the room go, yes, Andy, I talk to myself. And the other 20% go, do I talk to myself? I'm not sure. Maybe I do. So pretty much we all talk to ourselves, but usually that little voice in our head isn't like our little Andy Preston, our motivational sales coach. It's more like saying, don't bother ringing them now. They're probably busy, or it's nearly lunchtime, we'll do it later. Making sure we can get self-motivated and keeping our teams motivated is one of the hardest challenges right now. So my name's Andy Preston. If you've got a sales conference, roadshow, or event coming up, please think of Andy Preston. Thank you very much.